Remember back in the day when classic Minecraft YouTubers finally did a face reveal, only for their real face to look almost exactly like their in-game skin? Those reveals felt like a gateway into new content. IRL content, and the audience cheered them on. Even creators who didn't look anything like their persona could show their face without backlash. Stampy wasn't an orange cat, Preston wasn't made of lava, Husky Mudkips was no Pokemon, Jerome wasn't a big hairy baka, we didn't care. This isn't just a Minecraft thing either. Look at VTubers like CodeMiko or animators like The Odd Ones Out. Nobody booed. Nobody shamed them. We just accepted it and kept watching. I miss those days, so what happened? Well, the answer is simple. Anytime a faceless creator shows their face, fans start holding them up against the fantasy they've built in their heads. This then leads to face reveals often becoming a public shaming. And that says more about the fans than it does about them. Take the whole corpse husband and dream situation. That right there speaks for itself. They both went from being the internet's most beloved YouTubers, adored by thousands, to be double-crossed by those same people who supported them through everything by immediately reprimanding these YouTubers for not looking the part.
How dare you turn out to be a real person? I thought you were some hot anime character like the one in your digitally created profile picture. Such a shame you lost a subscriber.
It's one thing to be at least slightly disillusioned in this situation, if even that. But it's still a completely different and honestly shameless act to outright disrespect someone by nitpicking their facial features, telling them that they're ugly, and pointing out every single one of their flaws because they don't look like Zac Efron in his prime. I have never understood why anyone would get so bent out of shape in this kind of situation, just because someone didn't look how they wanted, and to go out of their way to publicly shame them for how unattractive they look, just to post it on X. If you don't have something nice to say, then don't say it at all, or treat someone how you want to be treated. Did you learn nothing in elementary school? I'd like to believe the people saying these sorts of things were born yesterday, because they highlight that they haven't been on the internet long enough to know, or for it to have it click in their head, that there are real people behind a profile picture. Not everyone is going to be America's Next Top Model. What's clear with all these reveals is that these creators have unique voices that pair well with their characters. They're basically voice actors, and people take it at face value, which is where the problem lies. People's imaginations run to create what they want to see, yet most hate seeing the actual truth, but some stay unfazed and hand over flowers when they're due.
Urahime? You crying?
This all reminds me of how easy it is to get attached to a character, someone who's not even real, but feels real because of the emotion and story behind them. For example, I was obsessed with Afma's My Street series when it started. She gave us My Street, Phoenix High, FC University, Starlight, and Emerald Street. Are you kidding me? We were eating absolute cinema. All my girlies know. We watched it for the plot. Call me what you want, but this was my soap opera that I never missed. Although, this was also the time I thought Wattpad was peak. Tastes change as you age. This may seem off topic right now, but hear me out. We learned so much about these characters that it was hard not to get attached to one or all of them. Here's some of the lore if you forgot. Coming straight from the My Street Wiki fandom page. Aaron was born into the Lycan family. His father is a descendant of the Ultima, aka the first ever werewolf bearing the ability to transform humans into werewolves with just a look. This trait is passed down to the firstborn male, Aaron. He was separated from other children. He had few friends and became somewhat detached from people in general. His parents were strict and one of the only methods he had to interact with others was through. So, why am I bringing all of this up? It ties to my main topic. Aaron is not real. Aaron is a character in a series made in Minecraft. But to me, and to thousands of others, he felt real. Just like how a YouTuber's voice and presence can feel real, even when you've never seen their face. I've personally felt so many emotions watching this series. I got weirdly attached to a lot of characters. This is exactly like being a fan of a faceless YouTuber. That profile picture is filled with all these human qualities. You only recognize what you see in front of you, and not what's behind it. When that picture is replaced with a real face, your illusion is shattered. This is no reason to hate on someone. When I eventually saw Aaron in the background of an office tour video, you know what happened? Nothing. And no one has said or done anything. No drama, no backlash, no cancellation. He flew under the radar for years because he wasn't a problem. Fans already loved him, so his face reveal wasn't some fantasy-shattering disappointment. Now, some of you might think,
get your facts straight, Missouri. It's about their personality, not their face. Some creators deserve backlash because they are horrible people.
Of course, but you can separate creators who get canceled for being bad people from creators being bullied just for not being pretty or handsome enough for their viewers' taste. I'm not defending those creeps who hide behind a profile pic. What I'm saying is, making someone's face the punchline of a joke is where the line should be drawn, don't you think? If someone hasn't done any harm, is it okay to dogpile on them for not looking like your fantasy and clowning on them for it? What's funny to you might be devastating to the person on the other end. Mental health is a fragile thing. And let's not forget, Corp's husband didn't even choose to reveal his face. He was doxxed, outed against his will, by the very same fans who claimed to love him. And instead of support, he got ridiculed, torn apart, mocked by a bunch of judgmental children and freaky parasocial adults who were mad he wasn't some perfect anime boyfriend. Do you realize how disgusting that is? He didn't know anyone his face in the first place. So yeah, face reveals can break the illusion, but they also reveal the truth. Creators are people. People who have problems like the rest of us. If that disappoints you, then maybe that says more about your unattainable expectations than it does about them. Creators don't owe us a fantasy, except they do owe fans one thing: not landing on a offender registry.